What's going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel. This is your first time. Welcome to the channel. My name is Flash and I review things. And today we're talking about Supergirl. Came out this past weekend. I literally just came back from watching it. And this movie is bad. It's pretty bad. I did not like it one little bit. There's some good parts in the movie that we're going to talk about, but all in all, I really didn't like the movie. Let's get into this. I want to preface this review by saying that I loved Superman that came out last year quite a bit. And if I would compare this movie, that movie, I would say Supergirl is trying to invoke the same feeling and emotion as that movie without knowing why that movie was good and why we liked it or what emotion is trying to capture, but they know they're trying to capture some emotion. Like all the bones of a movie are here, and like if it was put in a better steward's hands, I think a great movie would have came out of it. It's just that I don't know, like it's doing all the movie things, it's just not doing any of the movie things effectively, if that makes any sense. The story of Supergirl is living her best life. She's getting drunk and hammered because she's on a planet with a red sun, so she can feel all the effects of inebriation. So she's getting drunk all the time, hungover, partying all the time, and doing what she wants to do. She's 23, her birthday week. It's great for her. On the other hand, there's another character who's introduced, Ruthie, a young girl, who witnesses her entire family get murdered right in front of her eyes, and she vows revenge, like one would do. Like, I'm going to kill this guy, Krem, the Yellow Hills, and I'll do anything to stop him. So he happens upon a bar, which Kara just happens to be at. He declares like, hey, this is who I am. I'm Ruthie. I want to kill this guy. Will anybody help me? The guy steals her sword. Kara reluctantly helps her and goes, all right, kid, this is the wrong path to go down. This won't end well for you. Next day, I guess she shows up at her ship and says, hey, I need you to help. And Kara's like, no, thank you. And then Krem shows up, shoots Crypto. Crypto gets poisoned. And then he decides, you know what? Now I'm going after him. So now them two have the same feeling that they're after. They have the same type of motivation. And they decide reluctantly to team up with each other, take him down. Okay. So from moment one, I had a problem with the premise because Kara's on a red sun. Crypto's on a red sun. She knows that she gets her power from the yellow sun. She states it in the movie about 3 or 4 times. So is also from Krypton, but also gets his power from the yellow sun. We all know this from watching the first movie and from her saying it. So after he got poisoned, why didn't she think, maybe the cure is not a doctor or witch doctor or anything. Just take Crypto to a yellow sun. That should fix him. In the 3 days she had until he died, she could have just took him to the red sun, to a yellow sun, and see if that worked. And if that didn't work, because it's in his DNA or something, or some convoluted reason, then we can go, okay, let's go find his brigand. But later on in the movie, they show the kryptonite going into her system, and they show that is gathering to her cells, and then they show her flying to a yellow sun, and it all getting taken off of her cells, which tells me that if she would have took Crypto to a yellow sun, he would have been fine. All the poison would have left his body, and he would have been good. It's just me. Whatever. Cool. They didn't decide to do that. They wanted to have a ticking clock for whatever reason, and to make more stakes, and cool. Okay. So they finally decide to go on this mission and go out and help her. All right, cool. So let's talk about what I liked about the movie. Millie Alcock as Supergirl. I liked her performance. I liked Supergirl, what they were trying to do with her. The first act and the second act, I did like it, and then they kind of failed the character itself in the third act. I think all up until the ending of the movie was pretty well done by her and the character. I thought that was great. Jason Momoa as Lobo. I actually liked his portrayal of Lobo, even though they didn't really give him much to do, really. Like, as a personality-wise, he was kind of gruff and he was powerful, that's for sure. And, you know, he looks like he was having fun, but they didn't really give him much to do beyond that. But all in all, I would say he's way more good than he is bad in this movie. And I do like the performance of the actress who played Ruthie. I think she did a great job with the character, even though again her character was kind of underwritten in my eyes. She was just sitting in the background, just watching things happen and not really contributing much. I mean, towards the end, she started doing a little bit more stuff, but yeah, her character was way underwritten because it felt like her character was kind of useless. The last thing I would say that I really liked is when Supergirl actually got to fight and she was actually fighting people. I thought the action was pretty good. The action sequences when she was fighting people were fantastic. Seeing her kick ass, I liked seeing Lobo kick ass, and the different fighting styles and how they were manhandling guys, throwing them in the air. She's flipping dude and breaking their arms and all types of crap. And whenever she was doing physical stuff, I quite enjoyed it. It was just they didn't give her a lot of times to do that because they kept depowering her in the movie. But the times when she was fully powered and she was fighting, I thought they were really well done. And they really showed her physicality and her power, which was great. Okay, now let's talk about the bad. Villain, first and foremost, unforgettable, boring, generic, evil for evil's sake, and didn't really add anything to the film, really. Keep this spoiler free. I didn't like the plot. I didn't like a lot of things that happened in the plot. It kind of betrayed their characters, the theme of the movie, and a lot of stuff that like just happened. I felt like things were just happening on screen with no rhyme or reason, and it was just happening. And I don't know, the movie wasn't cohesive enough. It just was existing just to exist, and I don't know, it didn't work for me whatsoever. Yeah, can't really get into the stuff I didn't like about it without spoiling it. So this next section is going to be all spoilers because all of it has to do with the plot. Okay, so from this point on, will be story spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you wish to see it, watch it, then come back to this part. But from here on out, it's going to be spoilers. Okay, we're going to talk about the plot and the stuff I didn't like in the plot. First thing I didn't like in the plot was they kept depowering Supergirl. So, really in the first 20 minutes, they depowered her because she's staying on the red sun, partying and all that stuff. It's fine. Then the crypto gets poisoned. She's going out to go save him. They need to go find the guy. They're on the ship because she can't fly because she's depowered. Then ready to show up, so she has to fight them depowered. She gets her powers back. Boom. Fine. Now she's in Yellow Sun. She's Supergirl. She's fucking all these guys up. They go, hey, I know where the guy is. He comes down, hey, where's the guy? Here, drink this. And drink this concoction. We're your friends. She gets depowered. Because they're poisoned. She gets depowered the second time. And now she has to try to fight the dudes while she's depowered. Cool. After that, she gets taken to a planet that has a green sun and a yellow sun. She gets depowered a third time. Okay? She gets depowered a third time. Then she's depowered for a while. Then she gets her power back because the yellow sun comes up. She's Supergirl again. It's like, okay, she puts the suit on, it's playing the triumphant music. We're all getting excited. Then she shows up to the battle. Then she gets depowered a fourth fucking time. And I'm just like, bro, please, you're killing me. How many times does she have to get depowered? Not only does she get depowered another time during the climactic battle, so it forces Lobo to show up out of nowhere to save her ass. He literally tells her, hey, yeah, this is kryptonite. This is a kryptonite gem. I've never used it on anyone before, but it looks like it's working on you. I was like, what? So you've never used it before. You decided to use it. Not only did you, the first time using it, you put it on your right arm, as like a little carousel thing around your wrist, like a little necklace. You're shooting it willy-nilly. You didn't even know it was going to work on her. You just said, hey, this kryptonite, I might as well use it on somebody. And I've never tested it on anybody or anything. And I'm just lucky that it worked on you. That right there made me cringe. And I was just like, bro, that's just lazy. The second thing I didn't like about the movie was like, she definitely got that family killed. So that same family that said, here, drink this liquid, and depowered her, right? And you find out that the reason why they did that because the bad guy had their daughter, and they did it so they can get the daughter back. Take them too, and they would get the daughter back. Cool. Okay. Any parent, you can understand their motivations. They do anything to get their daughter back. Cool. So the guy's looking for the girl, for their daughter, and he's like, "Where are you?" Supergirl's fighting all these other people, and then Ruthie is chasing the dude. So he doesn't know that Ruth is behind him. So he's looking underneath a rubble, looking for the daughter. Ruth is behind him, about to kill him. So now Supergirl is in the air. She sees this happening, and she goes, I must stop this because I don't want this little girl to get revenge and kill the dude and be left with all this guilt." Makes perfect sense so far, right? Makes perfect sense. I'm all on board. I'm like, cool. Then it turns into a Hancock situation. Now, I don't know if you remember the movie Hancock, where there's a train coming and Jason Bateman's character is stuck on a car in the tracks. And after, what Hancock decides to do is he tries to stop the train, and the train goes to a sudden stop. It smashes all the cars into each other. The cars fall over. It causes all the property damage. Power lines and trees are falling down. And one of the ladies in the dialogue they have afterwards says, "Hey, why didn't you just go up with the car?" Because that makes more sense. The train's barreling down, pick up the car, you have superpower, fly above the train keeps going, and everyone's saved, no property damage, nothing. Easy, right? And he had plenty of time to make this decision, so it shouldn't have been a hard one. Same type of thing happens here. Supergirl's in the air, he sees the situation happening, little girl on the left, bad guy in the middle, and then Ruthie is behind him, about to strike. So she's like, I must stop her from committing this heinous act that's going to lay on her conscience. What she decides to do is, I'm going to tackle Ruthie to the ground and stop her from doing this, which causes the bad guy to get away. He finds the girl. He kills the mom, the father, and the daughter. And rightfully so. Ruthie's like, this is your fault. You suck as a hero. And I don't want to be nothing like you, which causes their rift, which is another dumb thing, but we'll get to that in a second. Why it turns into a Hancock situation was the very simple thing to do. The bad guy, this is the main bad guy in the movie, who had the antidote, the poison that poisoned your dog. Why didn't you tackle him instead of tackling Ruthie? It didn't make any sense. If you had attacked him, he wouldn't have got away. He would have got the antidote. And you would have stopped her from killing him in the first place. Like, it still would have had the same effect, but now not all this collateral damage wouldn't have happened, because now these people died, like the train falling and causing this property damage. None of them people would have died because you would have got him, you would have locked him up or whatever, taken the antidote, and then you would try to convince her not to kill him, and you guys would have been on your way. That didn't happen, and so these people died. And then it comes the part where it's almost a third act. So now the two leads have to break apart. And so she's like, I don't want to be anything like you. And she's like, you know what? Then you should just leave. And then they not friends anymore, and they go to separate ways. That part I also didn't like, because literally a scene or two later, she sees her again and goes, shouldn't have said that. We're friends again. I'm like, what was even the point of y'all having a rift? Then you find out it's because they needed a way for Kara to get the suit. And so she's like, oh yeah, they didn't have the ship locked, so I went and got the suit. And I, off screen, by the way, stole the suit, and then off screen got on the ship that they took you to this planet in, which depowered you a third time. All this stuff I did off screen because I'm a goddamn ninja that they don't establish that she had any training whatsoever. And now we're friends again, which I also thought was also very lazy and just didn't make any sense thematically with the film. Another part of the movie that didn't make sense was in the middle, second act, Ruthie gets kidnapped, right? Now, this is a girl with no powers, no nothing, no combat prowess. They don't show her doing anything up to this point. It really just shows her as like a kid that's in over her head, and she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Because in the first 5 minutes of the film, her sword is taken right from her hands, and she does nothing to stop the guy. So nothing foreshadow what she's about to do in this scene. So the guy comes in, he says something to her, she spits in his face, he says, oh, she killed her by the end of the day. The main bad guy leaves out the cell. So I don't know, time passes, and she goes, hey, I want to talk to Krem. I'll tell him where Kara is, where Supergirl is. He goes, okay. The jailer, he comes in there, he's a big bulking dude, like He's a huge guy, huge, and he's got all this armor and shit on his body. He's a huge motherfucker, huge alien. He comes into the cell. He says, "All right, I'm gonna take you to Krem." He puts handcuffs on both her hands, his big one with the long chain. He turns around. She jumps on his neck. She jumps on his back and chokes him out with the chain. Right. So the whole time she's choking him out, he's flailing around. He's pushing her off and trying to push her. He keeps maintaining leverage. She steps on the back of the cage and walks it up and like make it look like she's getting leverage on him or whatever. And she snaps this man's neck. When I saw that scene in the theater about an hour ago, I was like, how did she accomplish this feat? Because even if he was a human, let's say like he was like someone like, I don't know, Brock Lesnar, like it was that type of a bulky type of dude, she would not, even if she caught him by surprise, she would not be able to choke him out like that unless she had power, because she's choking him. It's not like Game of Thrones where she's taking needle, Arya Stark is taking needle and stabbing guys through the throat with it, right? Because when she's doing that, she's taking them by surprise, and she learned how to fight, and it built up to something. So when she started doing badass stuff, it made sense. She's choking the dude with a chain, and unless you have a really strong fulcrum, which she did not have, the power help you power choke him, she has to be using all of her strength, and she's probably like what 104 pounds, maybe soaking wet. And this dude's a big, massive dude. I just don't believe that she would be able to choke him out to death. Like, it looked like she killed him. Like, she definitely killed him. It just didn't make any sense. She cracked this guy's neck. It just didn't look realistic whatsoever. And the scene, it kept cutting over and over and over again, like trying to, like, I don't know, hide how she was keeping such a strong grip on his neck with his chain. I don't know. Like, I would see like the only way she would be able to break his neck with his chain would be if he was laying down on his back and his head was hanging off an edge, and she was on the floor underneath him. She was pulling down with all of her weight. That I could make sense if she got into a position like that. But no, he was standing up and she was on his back. Well, I don't understand what was stopping him from just grabbing her and throwing her off of him. How was she able to keep on his back and put that much pressure on his neck to break his actual neck? I don't know. Looking at how big that dude was and how strong, and he had like armor and stuff on him too. She was able to do that. It just didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. The last thing that I think is worth mentioning that I really didn't like was that in Superman, they have this Mr. Terrific fight where the camera's going around 360 and he's showing all the drones kicking everybody's ass and all that, which was cool. It played to a great song, and it was cool and stylistic, and it showed a different character doing cool stuff, combat wise. Cool. And it had the person that he was protecting appreciating it. They tried to do the same thing in this movie, but the problem is that it wasn't a brightly lit day like it was in Superman. You couldn't see what was going on because there was dust flying around. There was literally like a swirl of dust, and it just showed the aftermath of what she was doing. So there's guys in the smoke, then you just see like a car fall out of the smoke and blow up. It doesn't have the same effect than when Mr. Terrific's turned around and you see him point to his T-Spear, and the T-Spear comes and hits a guy's gun out of his hand and then hits him in the face and he goes flying. Like, that's cool. Not showing us what's happening and then just showing people bodies hitting the floor doesn't hit the same. It doesn't have the same type of effect. And it's just like, okay, what the hell am I watching? But it's still turning. It's still got the cheesy song playing, and it just doesn't hit right. So that also kind of fell flat for me. I would say the most egregious thing happened at the end. So Supergirl, right? She's Kara basically for the whole movie because she's never wearing her suit. She's fighting crime and doing this investigation without a suit on. Okay. So they're going to this thing about revenge and not being a murderer and all those crap, blah, blah, blah. But she's also like walking the moral line and like showing that she's different than Clark. And that's fine. She puts on the suit. they play the triumphant music, like I was saying. They had this whole fight scene, the swirly thing. You can't really see what's going on. Boom. Now, you see the girl with the guy. She stops her again, say, hey, you cannot kill for revenge. Be better than that. You're not this person. Don't do it. It'll ruin your life. She goes, okay. She stops. He takes the sword from her. She's in her suit, by the way. This is supposed to show a metamorphosis, a change in her and her mythos, and she's becoming a good person. Because in the movie, they say, even Superman gives her the suit, and he says, hey, this is a symbol to show that we're good people. 5 seconds after the little girl walks away, he literally says, this is for Crypto. Stabs him in the gut. This is for killing that girl. Stabs him in the throat. And I was like, I get it. You don't want the little girl to commit. You don't want the little girl to do revenge, and it's going to ruin her life. And you're like, okay, maybe I'm strong enough. I'm a hero. I can handle it. But the way they structured it, like, hey, don't do this, and then you have you do the thing, it just doesn't make any sense. I would have loved it even more. Lobo destroyed his whole planet. Just have Lobo have a bounty for the guy. Like, this guy is so evil. Everybody's out to get him for different reasons. Have Lobo have a contract to kill him and say, hey, that's my kill, or I'm here to arrest him, so you can't kill him. And then have her convince the girl not to kill him, and then have Lobo come and arrest him and take him to whatever he takes him to, or Galactic Jail or whatever. Like, that's a much more realistic and more natural flow of events. And then instead of having him chasing after a random dude and then him just showing up, because that would make more sense why he showed up to save Supergirl. He's here for his bounty. And it would make more sense for her to stop him and then having her kill the bad guy. I don't know. I didn't like that one bit, and I'm just like, what? So you're wearing the suit and you're killing him in cold blood, and then you're gonna go back to Metropolis like, hey, I'm ready to do good. Yeah, the plot just left a lot of room to be desired, and I wasn't feeling it one bit. Had me scratching my head a lot during it. And look, maybe you're hearing this and you're thinking I'm nitpicking, looking too deep into things, but I don't know. I was poised to love this movie. As you can see my trailer reaction, I was really hyped about this and see what was going on, see what cool stuff I was going to be shown. I was ready for him to be blown away. This is the second movie in DC, James Gunn's DC universe, and this movie really let me down in many ways. There's some cool stuff in it, but yeah, this was not it, guys. So yeah, that's my review of Supergirl. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know if I've gone too far, or if you agree, or if you haven't seen it yet, or you're gonna go see it. And yeah, I'll see you back next time. I gotta still do my review for Bleach. It's gonna come out tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bleach is a much better movie than this one is. So we'll talk about that. And yeah, you guys have a great day, and see you later. Peace.